Can DC make Nightwing a Blue Lantern? I think so, and I actually have 3 ways that DC can make this happen. For the first way, we're going to have to look back to the 1980s. We see Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, reach the brink of death, and on his deathbed, he sees all the potential candidates that could have taken his place. See, before Hal Jordan received the Green Lantern ring, the Green Lantern ring went across Earth and looked for potential candidates that showed great willpower. And one of these candidates was Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing. So yeah, Nightwing almost became a Green Lantern. Now, I don't think he should become a Green Lantern, but a Blue Lantern, yeah. So, taking this story, I think we should modernize it in the current Green Lantern run by Jeremy Adams. Currently, Green Lantern, he is in a war against the Fractal Lanterns. The Fractal Lanterns are basically lanterns in the DC universe that can access the entire emotional spectrum. So we're seeing like red lanterns become blue lanterns, yellow lanterns become red lanterns. For example, the yellow lantern, Sinestro, he becomes a red lantern. It is so dope, man. Kilowog becomes a yellow lantern. Like, guys, if you are not reading Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern run, you are missing out, man. It is basically the big Green Lantern storyline from 2010, War of the Green Lanterns, extended and more in depth. But yeah, with the current Green Lantern run, we could have Hal Jordan reach the brink of death again, and you could basically do the same story from Action Comics number 642, but obviously change a few things to fit in with the storyline. And at the end of it, you could have Nightwing become a Blue Lantern actually, and have him be involved for like a few issues. And if DC really wants to hype it up, they could actually have the current Nightwing title have a crossover with Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern run. I think that would be so cool. Like right now, we have Dan Watts on Nightwing, and I think he'll be around for one arc, maybe, but if he sticks around, it'd be cool to have Dan Watts and Jeremy Adams team up on a crossover. And they are great writers, they could really make it awesome. And to just see Nightwing, Dick Grayson finally become a Blue Lantern and be alongside Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, man, it would be so epic, bro. Now, that's the first way they could do it. The second way, I think, is a lot more interesting. Like, I like the first way, but the second way, dude, hear me out. See, right now, DC is pushing the Absolute Universe, a universe that was created by Darkseid, and it's basically heroes that are more underdogs and they're darker, but they still have their core values. And I think it would be cool to have an Absolute Nightwing comic that doesn't necessarily have Dick Grayson as Nightwing. Now, you're probably like, Ethan, Dick Grayson should always be Nightwing, but think about this. Dick Grayson, he decided to take up the Nightwing name when he was speaking to Superman. You guys remember Chuck Dixon's Nightwing Year 1? You have an issue where Dick Grayson is on his own, and he teams up with the Man of Steel, and Superman tells him the story of a legendary hero on Krypton, who was called Nightwing. Now, what if, in the Absolute Universe, we see this legendary hero on Krypton, Nightwing, actually be called upon by the Guardians of the Universe, and he, whoever he is, becomes a Blue Lantern, a guardian of the sector where Krypton is. Like, guys, just imagine that. That story would be so cool. Like, we're about to see Absolute Superman, and I think Krypton will be changed a little bit, but it's easy to implement a legendary hero called Nightwing in Krypton's lore, and maybe this legendary hero becomes a Blue Lantern before Krypton is destroyed, if Krypton is destroyed in the Absolute Universe, and we follow this Blue Lantern Nightwing through the Absolute Universe. Like, that would be so cool, very unique and different. Tell me your thoughts on that down below, but let's get to the third and final way that I think DC can make a Nightwing a Blue Lantern, at least temporarily. See, right now we have Mark Waid on Batman Superman World's Finest, a great title, one of DC's best. There's a lot of bizarre and crazy storylines in that comic. For example, the Impossible storyline with Batmite and Mr. Spitlick. Like, that storyline was wild. But how about we have another one that calls back to a two-part storyline in the Superman Batman World's Finest comic before the New 52. See, there was a Superman Batman comic before the New 52, and in issues number 60 and 61, we had a two-part storyline called Mashup, where Batman and Superman were basically in a dream sequence, and they encounter a character named Night Lantern. Now, Night Lantern is a combination of Dick Grayson and Hal Jordan. Yep, guys. And in this storyline, this combination of these characters is just a Green Lantern, not a Blue Lantern. But what I think Mark Waid should do is bring this storyline in the modern World's Finest comic. And yeah, we should see another mashup universe. That mashup universe and that whole two-part storyline I'll cover in another video because it is so dope and bizarre. But yeah, Mark Waid should do another mashup storyline, calling back to that one, but this time bring back Night Lantern, but have a Night Lantern be a Blue Lantern instead of a Green Lantern, just so we can see a cool design, and I think it would be fine. Yeah, it'd be a little ridiculous, but the World's Finest comic is all about ridiculousness. Like, it is so ridiculous and bizarre at times, so a Blue Lantern Nightwing would not be out of the norm compared to a Blue Lantern Nightwing in the main DC continuity. Now, do I think they should still do it in the main DC continuity? Yeah, like, go for it. But I can see why some writers maybe stay away from it, because it could be ridiculous if it is not done well. But dude, going back to my first way that DC could do this with Dan Watts and Jeremy Adams teaming up, like, they are great writers, and I think they could make a Blue Lantern Nightwing work in an epic way. But yeah, guys, those are my 3 ways that DC could make a Nightwing a Blue Lantern. Tell me your ways down below. And do you think DC should do this? Like, I think they should. Like, Nightwing is literally the combination of Superman and Batman. Like, Dick Grayson is a character that has moved past his trauma compared to Batman, who is always stuck in the past, always brooding. Nightwing, he moved past it. He's more optimistic. He's more hopeful, like Superman. He took inspiration from Superman. So yeah, the fact that Nightwing is full of hope, it would make sense that he would join the Lantern Corps that is all about hope, the Blue Lanterns.